Hi, this is Elizabeth Cermak from Your Highest Light, and I'm on here on Instagram and Facebook Live, and I'm going to wait a second because I'm waiting for both to come on. Okay, so I'm live now on Instagram and Facebook Live. This is Elizabeth Cermak from Your Highest Light. I am a master life coach and spiritual life coach here every Tuesday at how to attract and create your most beautiful life. So last time I was on here about a couple weeks ago, I talked about, it's still the new year, right? So last week, a couple of weeks ago when I was on here, I talked about how when we level up, our demons tend to resurface or surface again. So hold on just a second, I'm gonna fix something here because I got a little messed up. There we go. How our demons tend to resurface. And actually I just saw a quote on Facebook or Instagram about how if your demons are surfacing, that means that's a sure sign that you're on the right path. So when we are on the right path, our demons come up, and they tend to come up in some sort of form of fear. So really it's all about fear. Of Course in Miracles teaches how it's love and fear. There's only two emotions. Our world tries to complicate everything when everything is quite simple. So in spiritual terms, we want to keep it simple. But anyway, so I talked about how my demons were kind of surfacing towards the end of the year when I wasn't feeling well. I physically was not feeling well, which whenever that happens, whenever any of us are physically not feeling well, or if we're tired, we are going to feel also mentally it's difficult for us. So I had a lot of these demons resurfacing, and the other thing that I realized is that I had leveled up. So I had leveled up, meaning I had expanded in almost every area of my life, my career, my relationships, my friendships, everything was expanding. And when that happens, and that we call it leveling up, right, things tend to get a little more complicated, and old things that we thought we took care of long ago tend to resurface. And I talked last time about how when we think everything is falling apart, actually it's all in the divine plan, and everything actually is coming together perfectly as it should. And so I got some feedback on that, actually, that people connected with that, that sometimes when we feel like everything's falling apart, everything's horrible, and our ego will tell us, we're back to square one, we haven't made any progress in the self-development thing, you're a loser, you'll never be able to do this. That's what the ego wants to say to us, and that's not true. That's all a lie. So today, I promise that the next time that I talk, that I come back on and talk about how to slay those demons, basically. And that's what my most recent, or my next blog post that I'm about to send out is going to be about. It's about pretty much how to slay the demons and how I did it. I actually got this book. This is a great book. And it's like, these books, honestly, at this point, we've probably read all the same books. They are similar. They're all saying similar things. They're not saying things that we don't already know, but we need to be reminded of. And that's what I talk about even with coaching, As a coach, I remind people of what their higher self already knows about them, because we need to be reminded, because this world, we forget, and it's so easy to forget. So this is like nothing that I didn't already know, but I love how they laid it out in this book. And everything's, divine timing. Things come into our life when they should, right? So we will come across the perfect coach, the perfect therapist, the perfect book when we need it, when we open ourselves up to those miracles. And this was a miracle that I needed. So it's called Declutter Your Mind, How to Stop Worrying, Relieve Anxiety, and Eliminate Negative Thinking. And so I'm going to talk about that today. And in my blog post, I talk about decluttering 3 areas of your life. I talk about decluttering your mind, decluttering your surroundings, and decluttering your relationships. And so I'm going to really focus on this video on decluttering your mind and what I did to declutter my mind, some things I got out of the book and some things that I do myself. But in my blog post, I talk also about decluttering your life, decluttering your surroundings, and decluttering your relationships. And I cannot tell you guys, it's really hard even to summarize it in a blog post, the benefits of decluttering. So hi, Erica, good to see you. So there's another book called The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. And that book, it's really hard to summarize the mental, the spiritual, the emotional benefits of decluttering, getting rid of things that you don't need anymore in your surroundings. So that's something that I did last week, which is why I wasn't even on here last week. This is not just like a little bit of decluttering here and there. I'm sorry, my Instagram video went off. Darn, I'll have to start again. So this is not like a little bit of decluttering here and there. Just one second. This is about huge action. So I actually coach my clients to do this. It's not about like, okay, I'll do a little bit here and a little bit there. I'll do this door. I've tried that. It doesn't work. And that's something that in the book, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, she actually does not recommend that. The universe responds to big action. So I last week took like 20 bags to Goodwill, okay? I've actually made like $100 at Plato's Closet selling some clothes. So I made a huge room in my life. And there's mental benefits to that. When you have space in your surroundings, you have space in your mind, you're creating space for miracles. You realize what relationships aren't doing you any good anymore. You realize what food maybe you're putting into your body. You know, have you ever decluttered your refrigerator? How good that feels? The food that maybe isn't doing you any good anymore. So I can tell you the benefits that are to decluttering. But today I'm going to really talk about decluttering your mind and the steps that I took towards that and the steps that you can take as well. Because this is kind of a different kind of vision board. I love vision boards. I'm all about vision boards and, envisioning your best life and the things that you want in your life. I believe that you can have anything you want. I really do believe that. But this is a different type of vision board. This is going to keep things simple for you so you can really focus on what is important to you, and everything else you can let it go. Okay, so decluttering your mind. Some of the steps that I do to declutter my mind when I feel like I'm totally overwhelmed, or I feel like my thoughts are racing, or I feel like I can't focus, so some of the things I do, I unsubscribe to all unnecessary emails. We are inundated with information. We have so much information coming at us all the time. This is not a bad thing. I'm not going to sit here and talk about how horrible that is, that we have no hope for us, our brains are gone. It feels that way sometimes, but it's really not a bad thing. This is the information age, right? So it's not a bad thing. We can't really change it. I don't think we're going to change that. But in order to thrive in it, we have got to limit what information is coming into our brains, because anything that we don't need, like some of the stuff I was saying, like an example, like I know that my uncle, this is not a true example, but for example, I know that my uncle is hula dancing on Facebook, like some of the stuff that I know that it takes up room in your brain, we don't need that information in our brain. So it's like TMI, too much information, right? So we need to learn how to sift through it. We don't need to know everything that's going on every second of the news. While it's necessary, yes, to know what's going on in the world, we need to limit that, because if we're looking at it all the time, if we're constantly scrolling to see what's going on, we are robbing ourselves of dopamine. There's been studies that show like scrolling through Facebook or social media or email actually robs our body of feel-good chemicals. So we don't want to, if we do want to focus on, we do want to know what's going on in the world. Some people choose not to watch the news, whatever, it's okay. Wherever you are right now, you have to do what you have to do. But limit it, a half an hour a day. That's all you need. Limit who you're following on social media. Unfollow people that aren't feeding your vibe. It's okay. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to do that. So let's see. I'm talking about declutter. So unsubscribing to unnecessary emails, limit your time on social media, take a break from it if you need to. Don't do it right now during this video, but if you need to take a break from it, do it. I've needed to do that before. Oh my gosh, my video keeps ending on Instagram. Okay, but the main thing I want to talk about with decluttering our minds is to focus on really what is important to us. So I want you to start thinking about what your values are. I just don't feel like we think about this enough, right? So what are your values? And in this book, there's like a 4 pages list of values that you can choose. You can also look like values list up online. Pick 4 values in your career and 4 values in your personal life that you are choosing to focus on for 2019. So when you choose your values, when you look at that list, you might get overwhelmed and think there's a whole list. How do I choose? I don't know what to choose. What values? I value all this stuff. No, the point is to simplify. So just pick 3 to 4 that you are going to focus on for the year. And actually they can change. So let's say quarterly, like this quarter for the next 3 months. What are you going to focus on? What values? And you can reevaluate them every 3 months. So what values are you going to focus on? If you are, for instance, these are the values that I am focusing on in my career right now: peacefulness, abundance, spirituality, and connection. peacefulness, abundance, spirituality, and connection. Now, I want to make sure that my thoughts and my actions are aligned with those values. So you make those values so big that your problems are small. So if I am worrying, if I am stressed out, I'm not valuing peacefulness. Okay, so if you say you value peacefulness, you're actually not valuing it if you're stressed. You're valuing stress. Okay, so you might say, I don't value stress, I value peacefulness. Well, no, you don't. It's not just by what you say, it's by what you think and by what you do. You actually show your values more. So by what you do and by what you think and by how you are, by your energy. So if you're valuing stress, you're going to be stressed out. If you're valuing peacefulness, if you're valuing abundance, if you're valuing connection, if you're valuing spirituality, those are just my examples. Those are what I'm choosing to focus on. Your thoughts and actions are going to be quite different than if you are valuing something else. So are we valuing what negative Nancy, Debbie Downer over here on Facebook, are we valuing what she thinks of us? Or are we valuing our own inner peacefulness? You know, it's just, it really comes down to that. It's really that simple. So I recommend writing those values out and keeping them where you can see them every day, so you're triggered by them. So you are reminded, is this a priority? You know, when you're getting off track, is this a priority? How am I not in alignment? What am I doing that's in alignment with those values, and what am I doing that's not in alignment with those values? I listed those values to my husband, and I said, what am I doing that's not in alignment with those values? And he was able to list 3 things perfect right off the bat, okay? If you ask your significant other, your best friend, what am I doing that's not aligning with those values? They will be able to tell you right off the bat. Somebody who's going to be honest with you. You want somebody who's going to be honest. Hi, Mary. Hi, Karen and Gino. So good to see you guys. I'm talking about how to simplify your mind for the 2019, how to just focus on what your values are for the year so you can let everything else go. All that unneeded stress, unneeded stuff that you don't need in your mind. I'm talking about letting that go for 2019 and focusing on what you want. So you want to make your values, your vision for your life, so much bigger than any little problem or annoyance that comes up, because you know where you're going. You know who you are. You know what you value. What that person says isn't going to change that. Okay, so you're so strong in them. The other thing that's good to focus on is, what life areas are you focusing on? For me, I'm focusing on my career, my health, and my marriage. This just ended again. Okay, so my career, my health, and my marriage, those are the life areas that I'm focusing on. That's just the place where I am in my life right now. It's not good or bad to focus on any life area. Somebody might say, I want to focus on everything. No, just pick 3 that you are going to focus on. Maybe you are focusing on your relationship with your children. Maybe you're focusing on your relationship with your husband. Maybe you're focusing on your health. Maybe you're focusing on your career. What is it that's important to you? So pick 3 life areas that you're focusing on and 4 core values that you're going to focus on. You can pick, I'd like to pick a different set of values for my career and my personal values and see if any of them overlap. Honestly, peacefulness is like my huge #1 value right now. So anything that interrupts my peacefulness, I'm choosing to value peacefulness over anything else. Think about how strong and powerful is that if you choose to value peacefulness over anything else. It doesn't have to be peacefulness for you. It could be anything. But like I said, when you level up, when you are faced with demons, old demons come back, because they will when you're expanding and you're living a life where you're trying to expand and live a good life. You do want to come back. You want to have these core values to come back to, because you can get thrown off very easily. When you're flying up in the air, like everything's so great, you need something to level you out and to balance you out. Otherwise, you get thrown off and you're falling, right? You're free falling, and that's not a good feeling. Okay, so I'm trying to get back on this. So I really just wanted today to kind of get on and just talk about those values, thinking about choosing your values for the year, thinking about making those values bigger than your problems, writing them down. I have them on my board, right here above my desk, writing them down, putting them, put reminders in your phone to remind you what your values are this year, and that you're making those values bigger than anything else. And I guarantee you everything else will follow. Everything else will follow. Okay, you guys, I guess that's it for today. I thought it was going to be longer, but that's really all I wanted to talk about, is just making sure that you focus on what your values are and your life areas that you want to focus on for this year. I am still offering my package, my coaching package. I have opened 1 more spot. So for the month, it's actually going to be only for about another week. It's not going to be for the whole month of January. So it's 4 sessions for $333. It comes out to like $83 a session, and this is the year of 3. So $333. This is the years of 3. So I still have that open. So I work with my clients actually deeper in all of these areas. So when we talk about decluttering our surroundings, we talk about decluttering there's so much more to it. We're talking about decluttering our minds and decluttering our relationships. I go a lot deeper with my clients. So if you feel like you want deeper work with this, come and work with me. And it's so good. It's so helpful for myself as well to have a coach to help keep me accountable, to remind me of who I truly am, and to keep me accountable and for my goals, to keep me on track for my goals. It's just so easy in this world to be distracted. I was just talking about how, you go on your phone to look for something, and then all of a sudden something else comes up and you're like, why did I go on my phone? See, this is what I'm talking about. We have to limit the information. So that's another thing I did. I got rid of all the notifications on my phone. I don't need to be notified every time a Facebook update is made. I just don't. I can go on Facebook to see it. I don't need to be notified when a Instagram update happens. I don't need to be notified when I get an email. I can go and check those things. So limit your notifications. Limit the digital stuff, just the digital information that's coming through your brain, because you have bigger things to worry about. You do not need to be weighed down by unneeded energy and stress and worry in this world, okay? Your purpose here is bigger than that. So you want to learn to fly. You want to be grounded, but you want to learn to fly. And know that the possibilities are huge for your life. I really do believe that you can have anything that you want. I believe that is very true. So, okay, I love you guys. I will see you guys next week, Tuesday at 3:33. I'm going to be here every Tuesday at 3:33 to talk to you about creating and attracting your most beautiful life. This week, I want you to think about what your values are and make sure that your actions and that your thoughts are aligned with those values. Please let me know if you have any comments or if you have any questions or anything. Let me know below, and I will talk to you guys. I will see you guys next week. Love you guys. Bye.